At the time of making this video, I am currently Trailblazer rank 47. After using most of my Trailblaze Fuel, here is the most important thing you should know about Trailblaze Power when reaching TB rank 40. In my opinion, the priority for using Trailblaze Power from best to worst is character level, light cones, traces, credits, and relics. Now keep in mind that this is my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. There is no correct way to use your Trailblaze Power, but this is the most efficient way to use it based off my experience. Here's an explanation for why I placed them in this order. First, let's start off with character level. I think upgrading character level is the most important, as ascending grants you access to new traces, as well as not falling too far behind in level with monsters. If you are at a much lower level than the monsters, your characters deal less damage to them. You'll need to farm a character's associated boss drop, as well as have a lot of credits and XP papers on hand. Upgrading characters can be expensive, but it's definitely worth it. Leveling characters gives you higher base stats, which guarantees that your characters get stronger. The higher your base stats, the more valuable traces become as well. Playing through the game generally gives you enough credits and XP papers to upgrade a party of 4, but if you want to upgrade others, you will need to farm the Relics. Next, you'll want to upgrade light cones. All light cones in Star Rail give flat HP, attack, and defense, making them extremely valuable to upgrade. If your light cones are not upgraded, your characters will struggle even with upgraded relics and traces. It's also important to keep in mind that you can swap light cones between characters whenever you'd like, so upgrading them should be a high priority. And as a side note, if you're unsure which light cones to invest into, you can't go wrong with any of the 4-star ones from the Forgotten Hall. All of them are great light cones to use with the character's corresponding path. They also sometimes drop from weekly bosses, so you can get their super impositions up more easily than other weapons. Moving on, you'll want to upgrade traces next. This includes the materials from Relics, as well as a weekly boss. Now the reason why traces are so important is because they determine your multipliers when using basic attacks, skills, and ultimates. The higher your trace levels, the more valuable your light cone and character level becomes. Characters also unlock unique trace abilities starting from higher ascensions, giving you even more power. Now keep in mind traces can be very expensive to upgrade, so if you don't have the resources, I would say just get them to level 4, focus on upgrading your light cones and character levels, and then come back to upgrading traces. After that, you can focus on getting credits up. Credits can be obtained from various sources, so I wouldn't put too much emphasis on them, but they are still very important. I would only farm credits if you have nothing else to use Trailblaze Power on. There's nothing wrong with farming Relics for credits, though it's not the highest priority unless you are broke. Finally, you'll want to prioritize relics last. The reason why I think relics are the least important after reaching Trailblaze level 40 is because they are completely random. There's no guarantee that you'll get the stat that you need on a specific set. Meanwhile, if you spend your Trailblaze power on things such as trace material, your characters are guaranteed to become stronger. Relics are too inconsistent to be a reliable source for character improvement. I don't think it's worth to farm these until Trailblaze level 50. Oh, not to mention relic RNG, just like artifact RNG in Genshin. The systems work very similarly in both games. More often than not, you will get trolled very hard. You also get various amounts of 4-star relics from doing puzzles, buying them from world shops, weekly boss drops, and you even get some 5-star relics from Pom Pom. I would recommend using these for a while as they are generally sufficient enough until you reach Trailblaze level 50. Now farming relics does give you relic XP for later, but I don't really think it's worth it. Once again, you can permanently upgrade your character's levels, light cones, and traces instead. Relics will become easier to access as you reach a higher Trailblaze level. I wouldn't focus too much on them right now at level 40. One more important thing I also want to mention is that you shouldn't be afraid to use fuels. If you use your fuel now, not only do you get immediate benefit from it, but you also accelerate your way to 50. Once you reach level 50, all of your passive Trailblaze power that regenerates becomes much more valuable. So essentially, while it may seem like using your fuel now is a bad idea, it's actually not. So that's my personal prioritization list for what to use Trailblaze power on. Hopefully this is helpful for you so you know what to optimize when upgrading your characters in this game. But yeah, that will be all for this one. Let me know if you have any terrible relic luck, as I definitely do. Good luck.